everyone, and welcome to another episode of Friday First. I am your friendly neighborhood media specialist, Mrs. Shoemaker, and I am here to present another bite-sized bit of a book that you might be interested in reading next. Today's book I have is a newer publication called Lila and Hadley. It was written by Kody Keplinger, and it was on the New York. He's a New York Times bestselling author. This book is a relatively new book to be released, so many of you probably haven't read it yet. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what it's about by reading the inside cover here, and then of course we'll get to that first chapter, and that's all I'm going to read to give you a little taste of this book. Alright, so here's what the book is about. It says Hadley is angry about a lot of things. Her mom going to jail, having to move to another state to live with her older sister Beth, even though they haven't spoken in 5 years, leaving her friends and her school behind, and going blind. But then Hadley meets Lila. Lila is an abandoned dog who spends her days just quietly lying around a local dog rescue where Beth works. She doesn't listen to directions, or play with other dogs, or show any interest in people. So when Lila comes and sits by Hadley, which is hardly anything, but it's more than she's done with others, Beth thinks that maybe Hadley can help Lila. She tells Hadley they'll bring Lila home as a foster dog, and Hadley can teach her to follow commands, walk on a leash, and be more of a people dog, so she'll be ready to be adopted. Only working with Lila is harder than Hadley thought, and so is the mobility training she starts taking to help her with her failing vision. It feels like Lila is too stubborn to train, and like learning to use a cane is impossible. But unless Hadley can help Lila, she'll never be adopted into a home. If Hadley could just let go of her anger, she might be able to save Lila and herself. So it sounds like this young lady, Hadley, is going through quite a bit. This book is 690 Lexile level, so if your Lexile is 690 or better, or if it's in your range, this would be a good read for you. It is more appropriate for your 4th and 5th graders. If you're going to read it to a younger group of kids, you might want to read it with an adult to make sure that it's appropriate or whatever. But it is, like I said, it's geared towards more of your 4th and 5th and 6th graders. So without further ado, let's read the first chapter of Lila and Hadley. I really ain't a dog person. Mama always says I shouldn't say ain't. She says it's not proper grammar. But then, she's also the one that taught me stealing is wrong, and that's what she's in jail for. So as far as I'm concerned, she don't got a leg to stand on. Did you hear me? I asked Beth as she puts her tiny car into park and shuts off the engine. I ain't a dog person. That's all right. You don't have to touch the dogs. Don't even have to look at them if you don't want to. We'll only be here for a few minutes. Then let me stay in the car. No way, it's 90 degrees. You got air conditioning? Beth shakes her head. Out of the car, baby sister. You're coming inside. But I promise it won't take me long. Then we can go home. Hadley. What? My name ain't baby sister. It's Hadley. I don't gotta look at Beth to know I've hurt her feelings, but I don't care. She's got no right to call me her sister. Not if the way she left us 5 years back. 3 days ago, when she came and picked me up from Mama's house, was the first time I'd seen her since I was 7 and she was 19. We might share blood, but we sure ain't family. Okay, Hadley, she says, her voice quiet. I can hear the click as she unbuckles her seatbelt. Let's just go inside. But I ain't a dog person. She ignores me this time and climbs out of the car. For a second, I think about staying put. It's not like she can drag me out of the car if I don't want to move. Not without making a real big scene. But June in Kentucky sure ain't nothing to sneeze at. And Beth's already turned off the car and taken the keys with her. My not wanting to melt into the scorching, cracked fake leather seat wins out over my not wanting to go inside. Do you need my arm? Beth asks as I slam the passenger door as hard as I can. Can you see all right? I'm fine, I snap. But as soon as the words leave my mouth, my foot collides with the edge of the curb. I start to fall forward and Beth grabs hold of my elbow to keep me upright. Once I've got my balance again, I yank away from her. I said I'm fine. Beth huffs out a breath, but she doesn't argue. All right, come on then. I follow close behind her, keeping my eyes down so I can watch for bumps or steps I might miss as we make our way down the sidewalk and onto a path that leads to a large brick building. When I'm looking right at something, I can mostly see all right. But it's the edges where I get tripped up. Anything out to the sides or below or above a certain point is just gone. It's not darkness or black spots or anything. It's like my brain tries to fill in what ought to be there. So sometimes I can think I see, but I can't. And those edges have been creeping in slowly for years. The doctors say I'm already what they call legally blind. And one day, that tunnel of clear vision will be more like a pinprick. I don't like to think about it if I can help it. Beth reaches the big front door, and I can already hear a bunch of dogs barking inside before she's even pulled it open. She gestures for me to walk in ahead of her. I do, but I keep my arms crossed tight over my chest so she knows I ain't happy about being here. Beth walks to the front desk. There's a tall teenage girl with a round, pale face sitting behind it, talking to an older, bearded man who's clutching a fluffy white dog in his arms. "Thank you so much, Angela," the man says. "Sprinkles is going to have a good home with me." "I'm sure she will, Mr. Zoo," Angela says. "Be sure to post lots of pictures and tag Right Choice Rescue on social media, okay? We love seeing how our dogs do in their forever homes." I certainly will. Or well, my granddaughter will. She says I'm bad at taking pictures." He laughs, says goodbye to Angela at the desk, and leaves, his sandals squeaking against the tile. "Let's go, Sprinkles," I hear him say before he's out the door. He's using that squished, goofy voice people use when they talk to pets. "We have to go buy you some new toys, yes we do." Beth steps up to the desk then. "Hooray for a second adoption." "Thanks to you," Angela replies, tucking her short red hair behind her ear. "You worked miracles getting Sprinkle's house broken." "Some dogs are just a little more stubborn than others," Beth says. "You have to be patient and have the right dog treats." She glances over at me, still standing several feet back. "Angela, this is my little sister Hadley. She's going to be living with me for a while." "Oh, hi there," Angela says, her voice bright and friendly. All I do is shrug. "Is Vanessa in her office?" Beth asked. "She should be." "Great. Thanks, Angela." Beth walks back over to me as the door opens and a couple comes inside pushing a stroller, heading straight for Angela's desk. "I've just got to go back to Vanessa's office and pick up my check," Beth tells me. "Then look in on a few of the dogs. You can either stay here or walk around if you want. I'll come find you when I'm done, okay?" Shrug. Beth sighs again. I make her sigh an awful lot. I stand there for a while after she walks out, but eventually watching Angela chatting with the couple, who seem very particular about the kind of dog they want to adopt, gets real boring. So I decide I might as well walk around. To the left of the desk, there's a door that opens onto the hallway. I walk down it until I reach an intersection and head right. A second later, I find myself in a large room full of dog pens. The pens are pretty big, too, giving the dogs lots of room to walk around inside. I must have wandered into the large dog section, I realize, because all the dogs I passed seemed huge. There are dogs in every shape and color. Pointy ears, floppy ears, dogs with curly hair, and dogs with sleek, straight fur. Black dogs, white dogs, yellow, spotted. Most of them come to the edge of their pens as I pass, wiggling their tails all excited, like I'm here to see them. A few even jump up, paws on the bars, barking. Not scary barking, but like they want my attention. I walk past all of them. It's not like I dislike dogs. They're fine, I guess, but we never had one, so I don't get all worked up about them the way a lot of people seem to. I ain't got a clue where Beth gets her love from, but she likes them enough that she became a dog trainer. I wonder if she was a dog person when she lived with Mama and me, or if that happened after she left us. I walk past pen after pen, ignoring the dogs inside until something makes me stop. I'm standing next to one of the kennels, but the dog inside ain't up at the edge trying to get me to notice it like all the others. Nope. For a minute I don't see a dog at all, and I think this one might be empty. But then I lower my eyes and I see a large brown and white lump on the floor. It'd been just out of my range of vision before. It's a pretty big dog, real broad and stocky looking, with high-set, smallish ears that flop down at the tips. and its head is huge, flat with a big jaw. It's mostly white, but with a big brown spot covering most of its left side. I don't know dog breeds real well, but I think I've seen dogs like this on TV. Pit bull, I'm pretty sure. The dog's just lying there, eyes open, and all I can think is that it looks like how I'd look if I were a dog. Downright miserable. Like rather be anywhere else. I don't know what makes me do it. I sure didn't plan to. But I find myself crouching down in front of the kennel, and then I'm talking to the dog. Hey, I say. It doesn't move, but I can think its eyes are looking my way. Bad day? I ask, as if the dog can answer. And I don't know, maybe it kind of does. Its face certainly looks like it's saying, yes, terrible day. I nod at it. Me too. A whole lot of them lately. Slowly, I reach my hand through the bars. I know Beth would tell me this probably ain't safe. I don't know if this dog or what its temper's like, but I do it anyway. I move my fingers in a beckoning gesture. For a minute, I don't think the dog's going to come. Not like I blame it. I didn't want to move from my bed today either. It takes a second for him to make up his mind, but it starts to stand. It moves towards me real slow, as if second-guessing every step. I ain't sure what comes over me, but I hear myself cooing to it, saying softly, good dog, there we go, come on. And as silly as it might be, it works. The dog reaches at me at last. It stares at my face for a minute. Its eyes are real big and brown. And sad. That's the only way I know how to describe them. Sad and maybe lonely. Then it lowers its huge head to sniff my palm. Once it's done checking me out, I reach up and scratch behind one of its ears. And then we both just let out this sigh. Right at the same time. Like whatever has just happened has lifted a weight. Like we're both relieved. That's how I met Lila. And that's the end of chapter 1. Are you intrigued yet? Are you interested in what happens with Hadley and Lila? Well, if you are, then I suggest you pick up this book at the library, Lila and Hadley by Kody Keplinger. Again, the Lexile is $6.90, and it is appropriate for 4th, 5th grade, and 6th graders, or anyone above that, older, or that's interested in reading this. Because if you're like me and you're a grown-up, I still love reading young books like this because they're exciting and they're wonderful. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's bite-sized bit of a book, and hope that you will continue to try new things as you read. Have a great day.